Hello, hello. Hey, Cardell. Happy Friday. So, what are we doing today? Adam is mostly going to be working on the Dungeon Racer subgame of SIABT today. He is still targeting August 1st for the next round of playtests, which they'll be private playtests. There's a lot to do. All right. Hey, Shavalton. So, Codex reset the quota again. I got down to 30% and then they reset it. And then I got down to like 35% or something the other day and then they reset it. And then yesterday I did just a bunch of stuff. Today I have my own reset that I can manually use. So I'm going to try to use as much as I can again. Because this expires today. And it expires at like 5 p.m. So currently we are at 74%. 74%. All right, we got to merge Dark's PR. And I think my goal for today was to work on the Endless Runner part of the game, but I think we should actually still work on the Zelda part. Yeah. Main goal after that, continue working on the Zelda part of the Dungeon Racer. And then, yeah, we got to answer this eventually. I'm not going to do this. Actually, you know what? I wonder if I should even merge the PR right now. I should probably do other work first. Because, I'm a little bit torn. Let me take a quick look at this. I guess they're just scene files. So yeah, I could probably take a look at this now. All right, let's go try it out. 24. So first of all, get status here. Get status. Everything's clean. Get push. Do we have anything we need to push? Everything's up to date. Okay, great. So GHPR checkout 24. Alrighty. Let's go load this up. So we could just take a look at the rooms. Room 1A. Oh, cool. Room 2A. Wait, why does room 1A look so different? Is this stuff getting saved? Yes, I don't want to do that. Or at least not yet. Probably have slightly different versions of this. Oh, cool. Okay. All right, let's just hit play and try this out. Okay. Oh, very cool. Oh, nice. Yeah. This looks very cool. We probably got to get rid of these sorts of crates. Oh, this one's supposed to be on a table, I think. You probably got to get rid of those so people don't think that they can blow them up. Same with this sort of thing. I should speed my... Whoops. That's what I meant to do. Oh my god. I meant to do this upgrade. Yeah. Let's try this again. How's the game going along? It's been going really well. I've been making good progress. I think the fun is starting to come out in the games. We've been working on music. Like I made this track. I like this track too. So we're just taking a look at the map pretty much and like how it feels to go through this. Oh, Yeah. This is looking pretty good. Woo. Woo. Cool. Oh, there's a spike trap, but it hit the enemy. Oh yeah, we can't blow that up. Alright, so we gotta change the crates around. And some of the enemies are pathfinding a little weirdly. Let me write this down. Change crates around. Enemies pathfind poorly sometimes. So the player doesn't think they can break them off. Gotta fix the doors at some point too. Oh, cool. This looks pretty nice. Ah, the boss room. Oh, it died in like one hit. Oh, I know why that happened. Yeah, okay, so yes, this is looking pretty good. Oh, I gotta talk about the Y sorting thing. Boss died in one hit. Let me just take another quick run through this. So let's just speed this up. Yeah, I think having some variety here is pretty nice. Yeah, this is feeling a lot better. And I'll do one more run through this just to see. Let's speed this up. Let's turn off the sounds. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. I hadn't seen this room before. Very cool. Yeah, this is great. I am very glad Darkstorm is doing this. Okay. Let's quit this. So, boss dying in one hit. Let's go take a look at that. That should be in the boss room. And load diff. We should have a boss with now a different amount of life in here, I'm guessing. Yeah, all of these got deleted. So movement speed, contact damage, and max life. Oh, all this should be deleted, actually. Boss room. Movement speed, contact damage. Max life. Is this its own scene? Yeah, max life we just reset. Yeah, there we go. I think that's the only problem that I had here. All right, so that we can check in. And then I'll just comment on these things. Room 2A. I mean, a lot of these changed very slightly when I saved. And I don't know why. I'm not going to try to look through this too closely right now. So let's just roll that back and check in the boss room. But the boss room probably... No, that's it. Okay, good. Yeah. So fix boss stats. I think these got wiped out for some reason. All right, get push dark. So yeah, I want to merge this. I'm going to merge this. I'm just going to write some comments here. Hey, Strong. Okay, so this looks really great. There are a few comments that I have. I'll fix the Y sorting permanently myself. It shouldn't be too bad. We gotta take it from somewhere over here. Yeah. See number 12 if you're curious, but don't worry about doing anything there. All right, next, we have that world generation document. Let me go take a look at that. World creation. Yeah. Should not be enemies or their crates. I think we should probably remove the crates. The like non-destructible crates. in favor of some other obstacle, if possible. Rationale is that the player is incentivized to seek out crates to get power-ups. So it's kind of a letdown when they can't destroy certain crates. And then the only other thing here was enemies have sort of poor pathfinding. But this is something I can work on after the maps are complete. I'm sorry about the tile woes. Hey, Kyle. Hey, Stats. Happy Friday. I don't think this pack was made all that well. Or at least not for our workflows. Yeah. All right, so comment on this and merge. Great. Now we switch back to... Get switched back to Dungeon Racer. And then rebase this on main. And then push. This should fail, right? Yeah. Cool. We're all good. Wow. Not too shabby. All right, so we want to get back to the Zelda parts of the dungeon. Yesterday, I just worked on music. I was actually pretty happy with this. I spent a little bit of time after the stream working on this a bit more. So for those who didn't hear this, I'll play a little bit of this. It's for this game. Yeah. So I am happy with this. I like how the music's going. We started at obstacles and everything. I changed some other things around. We might even want to add in the music, but let's hold off on that for now. Why did all these imports change? Just UIDs? Is that it everywhere? Yeah, UID, UID, UIDs. Yeah. I don't know why this happened, though. Do we accept it? Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Let's go back into coin.tsdn and just save this and see what happens. Yeah. All right, fine. Accept Godot authored or Godot edited UIDs. I mean, this happens like all the time. All right, let's check that in. Okay, so what are we doing here? I think I want there to be several rooms that you go through. I started with like, oh, there should only be 2, and then, oh, maybe there should be 3, and now I'm kind of thinking 4 or 5. Not more than that, though, I think. I want it to be enough to make you think it's a Zelda game, and then not have it be a Zelda game. I also came up with a great idea as I was like waking up from sleep this morning of a Tetris-based game we can do. But I'll hold off on that idea until I've hammered it out some more. Isn't the eerie thing going for? Yeah, it does feel like a Zelda dungeon. Like if this were instrumented like a Super Nintendo track, I could see this being in a Zelda game. So I'm happy with how that turned out. All right, we do have a problem with slowing down too much. Should probably write that down in a fun check somewhere. Dungeon Racer fun check. What happens if you slow down too much before the game becomes an endless runner? Maybe this is why we should have coins drop out of you rather than just deleting them from the game. Yeah, I don't know about that. Bunch of switches or pressure plates. There's a buzz saw. Bunch of vases in a room. You break them. So yeah, we have the ability to have vases now. The only part is to reveal a switch. Spike traps you have to avoid. So what's the very first room? I didn't write down room 1. room 1 is supposed to just be a very basic room. I guess we kind of have it set up right now. I think we just put some slimes in it and maybe some coins. I'm not sure. So yeah, I think we can start you maybe like right here. Maybe it's even smaller. Just to kind of get you set up for like this is a Zelda style game. Should there be something when you break crates normally? Yeah, I think it could drop coins out of it. We would need the coins to not have shadows though. Because if their shadows fling up into the air, that wouldn't look very good. Do I have that open still? I don't, do I? Well, I have this open. Do we have shadowless coins? What is the... Oh, yeah, there's an outline versus not an outline. But no, nothing without a shadow. I mean, like I said earlier, it's trivially easy for me to just like draw a rectangle around this and cut them out. Or maybe I do this through Godot. But yeah, I kind of want there to be coins that like fall onto the ground from vases. I think it would look good. Otherwise, like, yeah, I think we need to do this. Random chance to drop something. Yeah, and I mean, I think that something would be a coin, but we just need them to be coins without shadows. So let's collect up some tasks we need to do. Make vases drop coins. Yeah. They shouldn't have the shadow as part of the graphic. So maybe we can accomplish this just through Godot itself. We have coin right here. And this uses the sprite frames from this part. If we were to clip this somehow, I don't think you can. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I don't think you can do that. Hey, Nourish. Hope all's good. The game dev's going well. Yeah, it is. It's been going really well. I started this week on this game that you see here. And I mean, it's... I don't know if you heard my elevator pitch for this, but it's supposed to be kind of like a Zelda game. And then at some point you get a bomb and you'll find a crack in a wall and you'll put the bomb down. But instead of it destroying the wall, it'll destroy the whole dungeon. And eventually you'll be forced to fall down. And then the game changes into this endless runner style thing where you just keep running to the side and, killing enemies and stuff and getting coins. So I'm excited about this. I think it's a pretty cool idea. We started working on the music for it yesterday. I came up with a decent amount of the like Zelda part of the theme. We got about 2 minutes. So yeah, it's been going well. How about your game, Dev? Oh yeah, you've been lurking and watching. Okay, so you already heard all this. All right, so is there a way to clip things in Godot? Godot, I know you can clip labels and stuff. Clip like Sprite 2D. Create a clipping effect. I mean, I can do this with a canvas if I wanted to, or whatever it's called. What is it called? Sub viewport container. Canvas item has clipped children. What is this? Is this something that's on everything? Oh, wow. It is on everything. Okay. Shows how much I know. Managed to get Fog of War line of sight visualization working finally. Now working on bots and game AI, which is the first for me. Yeah, some games, I feel like the AI is not too bad. Like if you were making chess, I feel like the AI isn't too bad. But something like Smash Bros, I don't think that'd be easy to do. Or StarCraft. For your game in particular, I'm not saying this to trivialize it. It's probably not as hard as StarCraft, but it's probably still really tough. Thankfully, one of the things about bots that you can usually do is make a lot of simplifications that just give like some fun gameplay. So I've been playing the finals and it's an FPS and they just added bots. And the bots sometimes do like really dumb things. Like they get stuck on terrain or they'll do like this is really dumb, right? A player would never like walk into a wall repeatedly and just never learn how to path around it. So that's frustrating. But like, yeah, they don't need to be the best or the best at strategy or anything. They just need to do something and give me the illusion that I'm playing with other players. Can you not just adjust the sprite size box to drop the shadow? Yeah, so that's something I might be able to do. Maybe if I say, actually, yeah, that's something I could do. Yeah, that's probably the simplest. Let me try one other thing though here really fast. So if I instantiate in a coin and I set this to clip children, clip only, clip plus draw. Problem is then this doesn't have a size. So like, do I need this to be a sprite? Sprite 2D, but just with nothing in it. So it's set to clip. It doesn't have a texture, so it still won't have a size. What if I just change the offset on this? No. Okay. Covers the area that's visible or not. Making it, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think we just change the sprite frames. Well, it'll be quite the learning experience, Nourish. And I hope it's a good one. Yeah. Difficult part I feel like is weighting different options against each other. For example, like putting a debuff on an enemy versus doing a lot of instant damage. Yeah, yeah. And I didn't mean to say that pathfinding would be tough. It's just in that particular game I was playing, that's something that clearly a player would know how to do, but that a bot didn't know how to do. And it stands out as being jarring. You definitely don't want, like, I don't know, in a team-based game for your teammates to be trying to shoot fireballs at you or something. That would also be really bad. But yeah, I think a lot of older games would just kind of use like cheating AI at some point. So for example, maybe you have a mana bar and you got like 100 mana. The AI has 200 mana. So they don't need to be the smartest about things. They can just use double the spells. And like, yeah, those are the kinds of simplifications I think that if you can't figure out a perfect way of doing things, those are decent middle grounds. Okay. So if I'm to do this, then I would need to change all of these. Now, the other thing we could do is we could just make a shader that cuts out these pixels at the bottom. But yeah, I'll just try something really fast here. Let's go to this, add an animated sprite. And new sprite frames. Where's the coin graphic? I think it's this one. And these are 32 by 32 or 16? No, 16 by 16. No, wait, no. We don't do that. We say it's 16 by 13. And then we offset this by a little bit. Oh, you can't use the up arrow here? Really? And you can't scroll to zoom in? I've always been bothered by that. Whoops. Not trying to click this stuff yet. But you have to make this positive? Okay. I think it's one more. Is that good? I can't tell if the shadow is in that or not. No, yeah, that's good. So it's actually 16 by 10. And it's not even 16 pixels. They just happen to align to that. But yeah, if I set this to 10, it should be perfect. And then we just need to lower this to some number. I don't know what. There we go, 5. Yeah, that looks good. So now we have just the coin. So I think that's what we would do. And if I just drag all of these now. Oh, maybe these should be highlighted with the outline though. We can't do that, can we? Well, I can do it if I split it out myself. Oh no, the highlight is always separate from the shadow. So we could do that. So does that make more sense? What happens in a Link to the Past? Link to the Past, rupees, images. They rendered with shadows. Where's that picture? Yeah, they rendered with little shadows there. If I open this up in a new tab and we like really zoom in, you can see the dark pixels at the bottom of this. I think an outline's probably fine though. I'm not sure. Commanded bots for the finals is hard to do with the way terrain destructs. Yeah. That probably is tough. Although the time that I saw them running into a terrain, they were running into a rock that was indestructible. So I think it was just like the bot wanted to go from here to here and maybe thought it could jump that or something. I'm not sure. Making them cheating could indeed make them get away with being more stupid. Oh no, I don't do any of the pixel art. I do music, coding, game design, but I have not touched any of the art. The art you see for this came from this pack. So, you know, I spent a decent amount of money on the overall bundle of this, but this one in particular is like $6, and it gives you the background. I don't think it gives you this character. It gives you some of these items. It gives you this character. It does not give you slimes. I don't know why they put these in the image if you're not buying this. That was confusing for me too. But yeah, a lot of this we just don't have a use for. Like, I don't need chests and keys, but we are going to use these coins. Now, the other thing too is we could just have this drop coins with the shadows. So how about we write this down? because I don't know what's going to look best, and that's part of the problem here. Let's just take a picture of this. These are the settings to get the yellow coin to look good. Yellow coin with no outline. It is size 16 by 10, offset 5. Yeah, I think it'll look stupid if they pop out and they've got shadows on them already. But we should probably test it out. Hey, Steven. Can you add in a Crystalis style minigame? I mean, Crystalis is pretty much just an action adventure game. And in that sense, it's very similar to Zelda. I'd say the ways that it was different is you got like magic spells and experience points and stuff. But otherwise, they're practically the same game. So yeah, if there's some like funny or interesting way of doing that. Hey, Alex, happy 1 year. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been an entire year already. Yeah, for those who haven't played Crystalis, it was an NES game. And it was a pretty good game. I don't think it stood up to the test of time. A lot of the sort of dungeons you'd go into were pretty much just mazes. Like if you find maybe the maps of these areas, it'll be very obvious that this does not look all that fun. Yeah, like this fog lamp cave. You can see on the map, okay, A connects to A, B connects to B, but like obviously you don't know that in the game. You'd have to pay attention to what's connecting to what. So you just wander around for a while, like, have I been here? Have I not been here? I think the monsters respawn, so it's not even super obvious where you've been. There are like annoying enemies along the way. So despite that I liked playing this game the first or maybe even second time through, I don't think it's all that great. But hey, sometimes you got to judge things by the standards of the time. And by the standards back then, it was a pretty good game. Also, the music was nice. All right, so make faces drop coins. That way, there's a reason to break them. I also think that's more fun. And we got to figure out the coins themselves. And I probably want them to drop out with like a little... like a little animation or something. And what else did we talk about here? Let's go back into this game. Whoops. Oh my God. What am I doing? Dungeon Racer. Yeah, so I want the first level to just have like some vases. You destroy it, you get some coins, you learn about that. Maybe an enemy, maybe even 2 enemies. Maybe they're like in front of, or maybe they're kind of guarding the staircase and they don't have a very large patrol area. In fact, yeah, they could be just moving. Whoops, I didn't mean to go onto the staircase. They could be moving around the staircase here. Maybe we just put like 4 slimes there. I think it'll be obvious enough that they're enemies. Yeah. Yeah, and then we shrink the room a little bit. Okay, let's go do that. So room 1. I want to shrink this just a little bit. So walls. What is the shortcut for this? P. All right, so delete that wall. Cut it in by like 2 tiles, I think. Delete the floor. I guess delete the floor behind that. All right, so the room's a little bit smaller. We probably don't even need it to be... Well, actually, I don't know. It could be longer. That's fine. And then the slimes, we'll put them... Well, the stairs aren't axis aligned, are they? No. And if I do this, yeah, this works. All right, so I want it in the middle of the room, maybe like there. And then the slimes around it. So maybe 1 there, 1 there. And then I want 2 to be like on the sides here. And I want them all to be the same color so that you're not confused yet, because eventually the color will matter for a puzzle. So let's just all make them blue. Blue or green? Yeah, blue. Let's pick blue. So all those are blue. And then we got to set their patrol points. So these will move up and down. In fact, actually, let's do it this way. Let's start this one here, and let's start this one here. Let's start this one here, and this one here. And let's make them patrol to the correct locations. So where is this one? Here we go. Good. Okay, this is easy peasy. Editable children. Patrol endpoint goes to here. This is exactly why I wanted to do things this way. And then this one's going to go... Oh, I messed this up. These were supposed to go top to bottom. Yeah, and this is bottom to top. Then this one goes to the other side. Yeah, there we go. All right, good. Spike traps. I don't think we need a spike trap in this room. Some coins, sure. They're just one coin each. And maybe a vase or two just to kind of indicate this is like a Zelda game. And we can put those here and maybe like here. All right, so we just play this. Spending hours on fixing Apple iOS builds. Their automatic option is index 0. Ignore everything else. Not sure I understand the second part, but I remember you were telling me about this the other day too. It sounds like it hasn't gotten any easier. All right, so here's how the slime's path. Does that look weird or stupid at all? It's very mesmerizing. I'm trying to think of why they're desynchronized slightly. They're traveling the same amount of distance, right? What am I missing? This green slime should hit the left when the blue slime hits the top. They're each traveling 2 tiles. Huh, strange. What am I missing here? And now they're synchronized. Oh, no, they're getting slightly off. Oh, it's probably to do with what makes them considered to be at the end of their patrol point. I might need to change that logic. Because, yeah, they start just fine. Slime.cs. Okay, what does cause them to do this? Physics process. Target position. Position not move toward. Oh, wow. I didn't even know this existed. Wow. Yeah, I had no idea this existed. This is where AI is pretty nice. Hey, Cruddlefish on YouTube this time. I've been making this logic myself everywhere that we needed it, including in Skeleseller. Didn't even know it existed. So move toward returns a vector 2. And this should be able to check if we're equal to where we need to be. Yep. It is moving toward end. We just swap. So yeah, I think this is just off by a minuscule amount. So they turn around in like 1 frame. I mean, it's not too bad. We don't need these to be synchronized, but I think I'd prefer them to be. Their deltas should all be the same. The delta should always be the same. This is physics process. It's a fixed amount. So yeah, I assume the math of is equal approx and move toward is what's slightly different here. Yeah, strange. 230 streams. Athletics. You know, this is what made me wonder, are streaks even a good thing for me to keep enabled? Because it is a psychological hook more than it is anything else. It's not like you're earning money or something from it. Then you could at least be like, well, I'm getting rich watching a stream. Yeah, by the way, how I just went through that is how I expect players to go through this too. They'll destroy one of these slimes. And if slimes don't drop coins, which I mean they're not, but maybe we should make slimes drop coins, then there'd be more of a reason to destroy them all. Yeah, maybe just everything should drop coins. That's kind of what I'm thinking now. And the slime could drop a coin of its color, maybe. That doesn't even need to be the case, though. Hey, Method. I am everywhere. Start showing up my code, I'll be concerned. So make slimes drop coins? Question mark, because I still don't know. All right, well, anyway, room 1's basically done, right? Yeah, we just need these things to drop coins. This is your little like sandbox room. Vases don't hurt you, coins are good, and slimes will hurt you. And you can go down the stairs. So easy peasy, right? Then you get to this room. We're going to have it, what do we say? There are a bunch of vases. You break them. One is covering a switch. Yeah, so this is the room where we'll have vases covering a switch. So we need to go add in a switch. And the switch needs to what? Make a door lower? Yeah. Okay. So add a, what? It's like a pressure plate, I guess, to the second room. Pressing it will lower a wall. Now the wall graphics we have for that, there are only 2 of them. We have this style, which lowers like that, and we have this style. So this one's 1 tile big, this one's 2 tiles big. I don't think it really matters. Yeah, I don't think it really matters. They have some previews over here. Where's the one with the lowering wall? Yeah, so there's the single tile one, and there's the double tile one. Any particular style I like better? No, I don't really care. Yeah, I don't really care. Yeah, so you'll destroy vases and you'll find a switch under one of them and you can go stand on it. And then once you stand on it, it'll just lower this. Or maybe you have to find like 2 of the switches. I don't know. Or maybe there are 2 switches and 2 doors. Do you have to open them both? Yeah, I kind of like that. It would suggest that we should make the room more vertical because we only have this style where it goes, it looks like it's blocking a vertical path. We don't have one that's, you know, rotated 90 degrees. I mean, I guess you could just rotate the sprite itself. Would it look convincing though? No, because then we're going to the left side of the tile. Although maybe that's fine. All right, so we had a switch. We block a staircase like that. And then we probably need there to be more enemies in the room. Maybe, honestly, maybe this is just the first room. Like you have to break this open and you'll find switches underneath them. I don't know. This is what I've been so torn on the entire time I've been trying to make this. It's like, how do we make this just interesting enough without going like super overboard? All right, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, Pretechnic. I hope you've been doing well. Hope you're off to a good Friday. Yeah, we had this idea of killing slimes to get banners to, or torches to light up according to banners. I think that might be too much. we're not doing this. Handle game loop. Anyway, yeah, nothing else. I don't have any other ideas. And the key across the pit idea I don't want to do. Maybe we should work backwards. Maybe we should make the bomb room at some point. Yeah, I'll do this stuff and then we'll work on the bomb room and then figure out the other rooms. Because it's just too hard to do. Might have missed things. Wondered if there was much work in gluing the sub games together to make the whole game feel nicely cohesive. Thinking both technically and story wise. So the technical aspect is pretty much just like fade between the two games, and that's not too bad. The story aspect, we made a change so that after every sub game, you go back to the Architect's Realm, because that way we can do game, story, and keep repeating this way. The way I had planned this originally was you'd go to, a few games maybe, and then you get a little bit of story, and then, yeah, maybe you do like 2 games the next time and get some more story. The problem with this is that to have the same story play out, you need now like triple the number of games, which that's just a dev time problem. So if I wanted to spend 5 years making this game, we could totally go this route. But there is actually one other problem, which is that a player who wants more story will not get it front loaded in this way. Whereas here, they play 2 games, they get a little bit of story progression. Here, they play 2 games, they get almost none. So to give you enough of a story hook, I think we're just gonna have you always go back to the Architect's Realm. So you'll slowly play out the dialogue with the architect. And this will probably mean that we need like, I don't know, 15 games, 15 sub games, something like that. All right, I'm gonna go kick this off. Yeah. Why do I have changes? Oh yeah, because I modified. Well, this doesn't count. Excuse me. I modified this though, room 1. All right, so like set up room 1 properly. There are some vases, some coins, and some slimes. I got rid of the spike trap for now. Alrighty. All right, so we want to add in coins. I want vases, broken vases, and defeated slimes in the Dungeon Racer game to be able to drop coins. For now, create coin.tscn. Really like 2 instances of coin.tscn when a vase is broken or a slime is defeated. It should be positioned on the vase or slime and have fake physics, meaning it should pop out of the I'll just say, I gotta think about this a little bit more. Should be positioned on the coin producing entity and have fake physics, meaning it should pop out of that entity, up out of that entity, and then fall to the ground. If positioned, should probably still have collision with walls, right? Well, no, maybe just your sword can act as a collection area for them. I think that's fine. It's okay if they settle on walls. Allow the sword to collect coins that have... Should they just be able to collect any coins? Yeah, allow the sword's hit area to collect coins so that the player can collect coins that land in walls. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I already have this at the plan mode, right? No, I do not. Okay, let's go do that. Hey, Goose. I like that idea more of a game arch. Oh, more than that, because the architect keeps sending you to the next game. Yeah, I think in terms of cohesion, we still need to play test it and figure out, does this make sense? Does it feel good? Because the architect is like mad at the video game characters they create when they come back, because the game characters are bored with the games, so they're making fun of the architect most of the time. You are not doing that, but they just assume you're going to, so they keep banishing you. At some point, you need to be able to talk to them. At that point, they're no longer seen as like a villain from your point of view. I'm also wondering if that's going to lower the stakes too much in terms of the story. Hey, TJ, happy 5 streams. That's 90 points per stream. Okay, and then a pressure plate. So let's go figure out the pressure plate graphics. Where are they? Because this is never easy to find. Temp. Snow hex. Main pack. All right, pressure plates. Where art thou? Ah, there. Set 1.5. All right, so we're going to copy this into sprites, worlds, Dungeon Racer here. And then we're going to check that in. Add pressure plate graphics. Nothing is using these yet. All right, so now new plan. New work tree, Dungeon Racer. I just added set 1.5, which contains pressure plate graphics. Let's go take a look at where. 303. That's not divisible by 16. 304 is, yes. So 304, 32. So how should we do this? I actually don't know if I want to use the like fully up version of the pressure plate, because it doesn't really look like you could step on it, maybe. Yeah, maybe we just start with that. Hey, Pressel, how you doing? I've been thinking more about the magnesium thing you were talking about. I got to do some research, but I do want to try it out. I was curious how it would play out. What you described sounded sane. Yeah, I'm hoping it works. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I'm a little bit tired. I guess that's why I was thinking about the magnesium thing. My wife is very likely sick, and she was coughing in the middle of the night, and it woke me up. And I'm not trying to make this about me. I'm just saying the hope you're feeling well too is I am mentally feeling well. Physically, I'm a little bit tired. And I think it's already like I can see the impact to my work. It's been 50 minutes and I've done nothing so far. Yeah. But hey, this is how it goes sometimes, right? Okay, so let's go over to here. Add pressure plates. Add the ability to have pressure plates for the Dungeon Racer, which contains pressure plate graphics. 30432 is the fully up. All tiles are what? 32, 16 by 16, I think. Yeah. All tiles are 16 by 16. Is the fully up position. 320, 32 is the partially pressed position. And 336, 32 is the fully pressed position. I'll say sprite. Okay. So make pressure plate.tscn. It starts in the fully up position and can only be, and will animate itself being pressed down when the player steps on it. At that point, it will forever be in the pressed position. It doesn't release when you move off of it. All right, what else? So it should trigger a wall, which we don't have the wall yet, do we? Is it in here though? No, it's not. Okay, we gotta go find that then. So where might the wall be? There they are. Set 3.0. 3.0 also has a bunch of stuff I don't want though. Do we have just the walls? Wait, really? No? Seriously? Wow. They split everything else up. I mean, I could split them up myself, but maybe indoors? Yeah, here we go. Basic door. Yeah, I like this basic door. So this will go downward. All right, let's go copy that over there. Which means I got to go add this too. Add basic door graphics. Nothing uses these yet. There we go. Hey, random human. Any kids? No, no kids. Understand your mentality with not wanting to rely on any supplement. The way I see it, especially with stuff like magnesium, you get it from food, just not enough. Yeah, that isn't exactly my concern. I guess my two concerns are, one, I probably wouldn't go to a doctor to ask about this. So I'm kind of just trusting whatever I read from you and on the internet. And two is, like, what if there are side effects or I end up taking too much or something? Yeah. Yeah, so like the deficiency, ideally you'd probably get blood work done, right? And you'd find out if you are deficient, and then from there you'd go on a plan to address it. And yeah, what does it mean if you have too much? Like vitamin C, you just pee it out, right? But then there are the fat soluble vitamins that you could actually do damage to yourself. So like, yeah, what does too much magnesium look like? How would I even know? Take the recommended amount, see if it makes a difference. Trust reality. But I mean, there's so many variables. What if just by doing that, I feel like things have gotten better, but they aren't actually? And it turns out it's like a lead paint scenario. Anyway, those are my concerns, I guess. If it sounds like metal grinding when you move, it's probably too much. If I gain Magneto's abilities, it's probably too much. All right, so when the pressure plate is pressed, it should emit an event, a pressed event, and then add basic door 2. Whoops. As a like collapsible wall. Is that what we should call it? Collapsible wall. The top row represents the wall collapsing. The bottom row represents it rising. Only use the top row. The sprite should stay in the first frame of that row, which is the fully up position, until a corresponding pressure plate is pressed. While up to really any extent, until it's fully retracted. And even when fully retracted, is it in the ground? It's pretty much in the ground, right? Yeah. Until it's fully collapsed, it should block player pathing. Okay, and then add 2 pressure plates and 2 collapsible walls to room 1. It doesn't matter where they are. I'll position them myself after. Okay, I think this is good. Anything I'm missing with pressure plates? I think that's pretty much it. Now let's kick that off. And let's go take a look at this. Hey, DevZone. If it's a placebo but it works, is there a problem? If it's a placebo and it works, that's not a problem. It's if it's a placebo and it's harming me, that's a problem. Huh. Okay. Click sound. Yeah, well, the sounds we definitely need to add at some point, but I'm just ignoring sounds for now. And howdy, War Eagle. All right, broken bases and defeated slimes will immediately spawn 2 default green coin.tsn instances at their current position. Coins will pop outward with fake gravity, land at the source's ground height plane without wall collision checks, and become collectible after landing. Ground height plane. I might need to read more about this. Add a shared coin drop helper that instantiates 2 coins. Places both at the producer's global position. Launches 1 left and 1 right. Randomized angles. Whatever. We'll figure it out. Extend coin with an init. An entry point for dropped coin sounds good. Physics processing that applies launch velocity and gravity. Clamps a coin to its starting Y when it lands. Yeah, so that's not really necessary. I don't need them to be at the exact Y position. I'm going to change that part of the plan. Collection disabled during flight. Should that be true? Yeah, I guess so. Sure. Try collect method shared by body and sword. Sounds good. Triggers shared drop helper once when a vase enters its broken state and once when a slime enters its dying state. Put the coin collection area on this thing. Yeah, bad coin case. Sounds good. Drops always occur for both entity types and use default green. Coins intentionally ignore walls. Newly dropped coins become collectible only after landing. Yeah, that sounds fine except for this part. So there's no need to keep the exact same Y coordinate of the coin producing entity. We can vary that a bit since the sword can still collect coins in walls. All right, we'll do that. And then what else? Work on the bomb room and then figure out the others. I'm just so torn on this stupid other room nonsense. All right, what do we got over here? Add reusable pressure plate and collapsible wall scenes. Place 2 independently wired pairs. Sounds good. Create pressure plate with a controller, detection area, non-looping animation using 3 specified regions. Sounds good. Start on the fully up frame. On the first entry, permanently mark the plate pressed. Play through the partially pressed to fully pressed. Stop monitoring. Raise pressed exactly once the animation begins. Cool. Create collapsible wall with as a static body 2D. Expose collapse. Animate from the fully up first frame to fully collapse final frame. Disable collision when it finishes. Perfect. Add 2 plates and 2 walls. Sounds good. And fires immediately. That's fine. I don't mind waiting until the animation's done either. Both animations use the 8 FPS. Sounds good. 2 pairs do not persist across unloading and recreating. Permanent supplies for the lifetime of that room instance. Yeah. Sounds good. Implement. And what's this one about now? It should have just modified this very slightly. Yeah, this is fine. I don't know how long the sword is. That might be a problem if they can go too far into the walls. But to be honest, even in the Zelda games, like the early Zelda games, you could drop rupees into a wall and not be able to collect them, I think. I know your sword could try, but I think there were ways to get uncollectible rupees. And it's like, if that happens every once in a while, it's okay. If it happens 50% of the time, it's a problem. Alrighty, so the question once we're done with this is, do the shadows look dumb? And I won't know until I see it. So this we're going to do in the second room. There are vases in the room. You break them. One is covering a switch, which you stand on to lower the door. Yeah, so this is going to be room 2, I think. Then I wanted there to be a room with just spike traps. We're not going to do the key across the pit thing. I think this is kind of stupid. We need the bomb wall room, though. There's a key, a chest, and a bombable wall. on the left side. So I have not answered the question of how do you get the bombs? How do you get / use the bombs? The idea is that you're not actually bombing the wall. Like the dungeon floor is weak and will crumble. So if you were to use a bomb in a random spot, wouldn't it destroy the floor? Maybe we just paper over that and say you have to bomb the wall and that the wall is like a structural, I don't care about that, a structural problem for the whole dungeon. I think this is fine. Yeah, we just paper over it. Best form. Yeah, I think you did mention that. I have your messages still somewhere that I copy pasted. All right, so I think this is fine. So that means that you could just get infinite bombs. So like, yeah, do you have infinite bombs? Do they take time to recover? And what happens if you use a bomb when you're in the endless runner part of the game? Maybe they're for defeating the armored knights. That could be kind of cool. I kind of like that idea. Like we spawn a little thing. You've gained the ability to put bombs down. I like that idea. All right, take care, Pressel. If you're going to work out, I hope you're going to work out. Too much magnesium. Yeah. You bomb it right out of your system. Okay, so we have a UI pack. Where is that pack? Here. And I want to see if we have any easy place we could render like you have your bomb accessible. I kind of like the idea of showing your portrait up here too. That's actually kind of cool. But you don't really have life. You have speed. You don't have armor. So maybe we could have the same meter and just draw a coin there instead. And we don't show you your... I don't know. We'll figure that out. Yeah. But I like the idea of using the portrait. So that is pretty cool. We should probably use the character portrait since we have it. And I don't think it'd be too much to animate that. Well, not animate it. Sorry. Get it to look like our character. Interesting. So they have these little icons. They have a bomb icon. Because I could put a bomb icon indicating that you have access to the bomb and we like fade it in or something. I don't see it in these pictures. Oh, here we go. Is there a bomb there? I don't think so. That might be a bomb. Let's just load it up on disk because it might be easier to see. Here's the pack. So I want to make their UI tar. Nope. I didn't mean to delete all that. UI. All right. What have we got? What have we got? What have we got? Any bombs? Oh my God. All right. Well, if we did have one, it'd be in here, I guess, because it's all sets export, right? I gotta take a break actually, because an ad's gonna start pretty soon. Ah, right there. There is a bomb graphic. So they probably have a filled in one somewhere, right? I don't see it quickly, but yeah, let's see if we can find it afterward. Maybe we find it in a different pack or something. All right, for now, I'll be back in a little bit. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Hello, hello. Hey, Smash. Hey, Laxton. Close the game. Okay, so we decided on this bomb thing, and I was just trying to find the graphic for it. I don't, I mean, there's this, which suggests that I have a bomb graphic somewhere. It's probably in the other pack. Hearts, 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 hearts. Life bar. Yeah, it's probably in the other pack. Skill level. Yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to use that one. All right, well, let's look at the main pack. There should be some items thing here, right? Yeah, here we go. There's a bomb, right? Yeah, there's the bomb. Okay, so that's what we probably render. We render this, and maybe we maybe have like a bomb meter. In fact, actually, yeah, that's how we could repurpose the UI, right? You could have this style of meters here, and there could be maybe, oh, this is the tiny icon. Maybe we can repurpose it. I don't know. We'll figure out the UI later probably. But yes, I do want there to be some bomb icon. So you'll just get access to bombs. We should use the bomb icon from here. We could probably like allow you to have up to 3 bombs at once and use the segmented UI to render how many bombs you have. Because they need to come back. This is not going to be like you find bomb drops on the ground and you pick them up like in Zelda. Because otherwise you might get trapped in this room. So you need to have infinite bombs. Yeah, maybe I should write this somewhere. You have infinite bombs even if they need to like recharge. Otherwise, you could get trapped in the room where you first get bombs. There are other ways around this. In fact, Ocarina of Time, I think, was the first game that had bomb flowers, which was a respawning bomb. So that anytime you needed a bomb for a puzzle... Oh, wait. Was this sooner than that? Yeah, Ocarina of Time was the first one. Okay. Yeah, first appear in Ocarina of Time. Yeah, so anywhere you needed this for the sake of a puzzle, let's say, and they couldn't count on you having bombs already, they put a bomb flower there. And I think it's a pretty good way to solve that issue. The way it's not so good is that you needed to wait for them to respawn. You could only carry them so far. It's also kind of an indicator of like, all right, there's a puzzle within a 10-meter radius, because that's as far as you could walk with them or something. But whatever, for this game, I think just infinite bombs is fine. All right, these are probably done now. Yeah. So I learned about how to make this easier. You can click commit right here. And then it should give me, it generates a message. I don't want doing that. Does it tell me the hash? It doesn't easily tell me the hash. Because I know you can check this out here and then hand it off, but then you have a new branch that it creates. And I find that a little bit unwieldy because to get it back onto your original branch, you need to like stack, push, switch branches, and then pop. So there's no easy way to get the commit hash. I know I can switch to this and check it through there. Oh, it submitted it onto a branch in here. Add coin drops enemies. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yeah, I don't like that. Oh, man. I want a better workflow for this. I wonder if I should just make a custom script that does what I want it to do. I probably should. Yeah, I want like a single button press kind of thing that I can do. All right, well, anyway, give me the SHA of the commit you just made. Let's just do that. Yeah, I'll write this down somewhere. Make a script that will hand the changes off to my own branch. Yeah, I find this is lacking a little bit. Tile map. I gotta write something else down over here that hit me in the morning. Okay, they're done. All right, so here's the Shah. Let's go try this out. Get cherry pick this. We should see a bunch of changes now. Yeah, perfect. And this is for dropping coins. Okay, let's go try it. So we should see 2 coins drop out of vases or out of enemies. And they're going to drop with shadows, which might look a little bit weird. It's not too bad. Yeah, I want it to be a little bit faster, I think. Right? How does that look? I don't think the shadows bother me. Yeah, I know there's some Y sorting issue with the stairs there, but yeah, this looks pretty good. And now you can slash and collect all the coins. That's also kind of cool. Yeah, so I just want to change how it drops them, I think. I think it should just be a little bit faster. But it looks very cool. Now, can you drop them onto you and have them automatically collect? Was that white flash once you slash? It's just the animation. I don't necessarily like that. No, you can't do it this way. You just have to move, which I think is natural enough. Yeah, I think this is fine. So I think I just want to speed up how quickly this is happening. Now, what is this? Yeah, I'll just say fix this error. This is from not calling this in a deferred way. And it's easier to just have it do this than for me to do this. So let's go look through the code. Drop duration seconds. Yeah, I want to lower this. Pop height pixels, drop elapsed seconds, drop landing position, drop start position is dropping. Yeah, so monitor ball's off. Set physics process is dropping. I don't think both of those are needed at once. And is dropping is true is only the... Oh, there are 2 inits now? Thought this wouldn't happen anymore, but I don't have my Command R menu in here, so I got to restart the ID. You have invulnerability frames once you get hit. I saw you're flashing white after a hit. Normally such games have like less than a second to not get unlocked. Yeah, you have some invulnerability. I think it's 0.3 seconds. Because yeah, without that, yeah, you could get slightly stun locked. Not totally, because slimes will eventually turn around. Whoops. All right, so do we have multiple inits here? No, we just have the one. I don't love that idea, but we don't have a need for another init, I guess. If not is ready. Is ready should always be called first. That's our pattern that we do. Yeah. I don't like this. Set physics process is dropping. Is dropping. What? This is done a little bit strangely, I think. We add the coin. So ready will always be called first now. So is ready being true, we can just delete. Oh, wait, was that already there? It was already there. Don't love that. I think we're going to delete this entirely, though. Yeah. So is dropping. How could this ever be set to false? It's true from init, and it's false from when it's done dropping. Yeah. So it can never be true here. So set collection area enabled. This just shouldn't be done. And yeah, is dropping won't exist here. Actually, we're always going to set this to false, so the physics process isn't needed. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it would be annoying without, definitely. Oh, whoops, I'm changing this as it's also changing it. That's probably a mistake. Yeah, that's probably a mistake. Hopefully that's not going to come back to bite me. Let's copy paste the whole thing just so I don't lose it. Yeah, I still want to look through the rest of this. This is where the bulk of the problem comes in, right? Coin dropper. Drop 2. This is fine. Try collect. This is also fine. Slime has drop 2 and vase has drop 2. Yeah, so the rest of this looks pretty much good. What do we have here? Add child immediately runs the coins ready, which changes an area 2D. Yeah, this is stupid. I just deleted it anyway. I'm just gonna hit stop on this. I think this is a mistake. It did change something in coin dropper though. Oh, now it's using the callable dot from. I don't think there's an issue anymore though. Yeah, out of curiosity, if I just get rid of this. Because is that all this did? I think so. Well, let's try running this. I made some changes. Hopefully I didn't break anything. I still want to fully review this code. So area set shape, where does this come from? Drop 2. It is still a problem there. Add child calls what exactly? Coin ready. This, I think, is the problem. All right, that's fine. We can put this back to what it was. Hey, Magnus. Happy 17th. Is that right? Yes, it is. You can never make a mistake, Magnus, or else it's going to throw me off. Yeah, nice. No errors now. I think everything's looking good. I just want to speed this up a little bit. That's half a second right now. Let's see what 0.3 seconds looks like. It'll be a little bit faster. I mean, it's almost half the duration. Okay, yeah. Is that better? It looks a little too hasty. Yeah, it's too hasty. So 0.4. When in doubt, split the difference. Yeah, the animations look great. I mean, I don't have anything to do with those. I just bought the asset pack. That would be very difficult, Magnus. I tend to know my appointments for my calendar. But who knows? Maybe it does cause me to panic. Yeah, this looks a lot better. I think 0.4 is the right amount of time. Yeah. And I think them dropping with the shadows on them is okay. Because it's not all that noticeable. I did a great job asking AI. It didn't implement that. I don't want people to think AI made the art because it did not. Okay, so now let's go review the code for real. So is dropping. We got rid of is ready here. That was never really needed to begin with. Init will set this to true, which is what gives us a physics process. Drop elapsed seconds is totally fine. I'm not sure why we don't just use a tween for this. I guess it's easier to do this way. Progress, ground position, lerp it over the progress, height. Yeah, this is fine. I mean, this looks good, so there's no real issue. Progress will eventually get to 1, at which point we set this to the landing position. We don't even really need to do that. We could just leave it wherever it is. And it's on physics process. Yeah, I don't really see a problem with that, but it's okay. And then set physics process to disabled. This isn't also really needed, but sure, that's fine. Collection area enabled is false. Yeah, that's good. Try collect if is collected or is dropping. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, cool. Cool. Yeah, easy peasy. All right, what else have we here? This can be deleted. And this I didn't closely look at yet. Drop 2. We should use our resource cache for this, do we? Coinscene.instantiate. Oh, nice. But it's static, so that means we're loading it as soon as we... Actually, I'm not sure when this happens exactly, but I think it is as soon as this comes into scope, which is probably when we start the Dungeon Racer. I don't know, actually. Yeah, how do we check that out? Let's go just print this out. gd.print resource path. And let's find out when this gets called. So now let's have flow control flags to be on the title screen. And if we see this print out immediately, then we know that we should probably change this a little bit. It's going to print for a whole bunch of things. Yeah. Credits name. Oh, nice. It does not. Okay. So it's only once we get into the Dungeon Racer. So if I do this, we'll see it spew a whole bunch of these. So just those. I expected a little bit more. All right. Now Dungeon Racer. It never printed. It's only once we actually slash one of these. Oh, wow. That's even better. Okay. So back to this for a sec. Parent equals producer.getParent. That is fine. Get the producer's global position. This is good. This is good. Yep. Yeah, everything here is fine. And we even have a reset physics interpolation here. This is on coin initialize. We actually don't change the position of this thing here. Oh, we do up here. And we need this to be set originally. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, and that's everything, right? Then we just have slashing stuff. Okay, cool. Add droppable coins, vases, and slimes. Now drop coins. Next up, add pressure plates. So this is done. This is where I was saying I want a script to do all the get this into my branch kind of thing. Like I want to be able to ideally copy the path from here. You can't actually do this though. This copies the local path, exactly what you see typed out here. So the game/scene/whatever. I want the absolute path. And it's seemingly the only way to get that through this is to right click and go to reveal in Finder and then just copy it from this. And now I have the full path, which contains the work tree. So what I want to do is switch to this. I pretty much want to run something that's like codex pull or something like that. And I just paste that in. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this. I'll have it write it for me. So I want a script that will make it easier to cherry pick commits from codex. Yeah. I usually have codex work in a workspace, but using the handoff feature makes a new branch, which I find unwieldy, and having codex do the commit for me doesn't show the SHA anywhere. What I want is to be able to run a shell script like codex pull this, then it would navigate to that branch, run git commit -am whatever to get a commit hash, then cherry pick that onto commit hash in my local checkout. That way I can see which files changed. I guess there's kind of a problem here though, which is if I ever needed to make any future changes, that this workflow would make it harder. So like ideally, maybe I should change how I do my workflow then. Maybe I should just commit and then switch to that branch, make any changes, and then pull the branch into my, I don't like that either though. I don't know. I guess no matter what I do here, it's not frictionless. Yeah, maybe I should just get used to the branch way of doing things here. Now the other way you could do this continue in local checkout is a possibility. I don't think that's a great idea though, because then you prevent yourself from being able to run this in the background again. Or maybe you can, I don't know, but it won't be on the work tree anymore. So yeah, maybe we do just typically click this, commit. There's only new branch here. I don't even know why I have a drop down if they only have one option. Yeah, so I think we just go with a commit route and then switch to this branch. Committed here. Gets switched to this. Already used by work tree. What? Wonder what the expected flow is for doing this. Like I would access this. I don't want to load rider at this location. Man, I guess it is just commit locally and then get the SHA from there. All right, so what's the easiest way to do that? I'll just use this here. I had Codex commit changes to a branch. It made this. How do I get the SHA that it just committed from the command line? I'm still trying to figure out the best workflow for this. Commit and cherry pick, click commit. Yeah, I never said how to get the SHA though. I guess that's what we're doing now. Rev parse prints the full SHA of the branch's latest commit. Yeah. Okay, that's easy enough. Click commit. Codex will make a new branch. Then get the SHA of that commit with this. Whoa. Codex slash name of branch. Pull the files in without committing them. -n is don't commit. Cool. All right, so we just go do that now, right? Get cherry pick -n. What's the shortcut to the prior output? $ something? Seashell for like variable pointing at last output. Is it $? Exclamation mark, echo high, echo. That's the last command. How do you adjust the output? I guess I can just copy paste. Or I could have run all of this inside of one command, right? Yeah. Up arrow, enter, control C. That wouldn't work. I just rerun the command and then do nothing. Well, I don't think copying here does something, does it? No, I don't think so. So I guess what we want to do is this. Let's go revert all of that. So now I have no changes, right? And delete all this too. and then run like this. Is that even correct? Oh, curly braces. Okay. Is it curly braces? How do I pass the result of get rev parse to get cherry pick in Z shell? Is it, yeah, some combination of $ and braces? Yeah, even whenever I made shell scripts back in the day, I always needed to look up like how do you even compare numbers or how do you write if statements. It's just I never shell scripted often enough to keep that in my head. And there was like an old way of doing things that worked and a new way of doing things, and Stack Overflow always have both ways. Anyway, use command substitution. Yeah, so they put it in quotes and they used parentheses. So did that work? Yes, it did. Okay, I like that because this means I only need to type one command. You can do both steps above with this. Name of branch. All right, so we got our wall. Ooh, I am doing a shoddy job today, I will say that. I think I just feel tired. Yeah. Oh, wow. It just spawned underneath me. But yeah, it's working. Do we want that to trigger immediately? First of all, I spawn on it. But like, yeah, as soon as I touch this. You directly give branch name to cherry pick. Oh, really? I did not realize that. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. So cherry pick that, or like pull in files without committing them. Yeah, let's just do that. Get cherry pick dash n codex slash name of branch. Okay, that's a lot easier. And I think this is the workflow I'd probably want then. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so we got to move these. What are work trees used for? It's basically a way of not stomping on your current code. Like Codex will go create a copy of your current branch in a work tree, make any changes there, iterate on it. And it's technically not committed in the repo yet, as far as I understand, until you actually make a branch. Yeah. All right, so we got to move these around a little bit. We have collapsible wall. Is there a way of referencing one to the other? There isn't. Okay, so this is all done through a script. We could, well, that's fine. I don't really care. All right, so we're just going to act like this is blocking this. Yeah, and we'll put this over here. I'm not making the full dungeon yet. I just wanted to test this out. And let's put this under here. And then pressure plate 2 will put under here and put this one over on the other side. This is not really how the puzzle will work. And we need to put these above the vases. You can't really hide it, can you? I guess. And you could probably still touch this. Yeah, you can. So I need to know that it's covered or not. Yeah. So the idea was you would slash this and then be like, oh, there's a switch underneath it, and then go touch it, and you'd now be able to walk over this. And if you don't do that, you can't walk over it, right? Yeah. 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 I mean, I gotta stop you from walking onto this, that's for sure. So maybe I make the collision area just a lot smaller. That'd be fine. I'll do that. It's very simple to do. So just shrink this. Oh, it's grid aligned right now. How do we stop that? There we go. I don't know. Is that good? Who knows? Who knows? And we got the repo link. For this is closed source. Is it a problem in the long term that slimes can cross bars? Kind of makes sense. Oh, no, those won't be there. This is just me testing things out. This is not how the room is going to look. So now you shouldn't be able to touch this switch no matter what. Yeah, you're going to have to... You're going to have to destroy the vase on top of it. Can we obscure this better? Should I just like shrink the artwork? Because I don't think this looks good. Where's the switch? There it is. Yeah, I don't think this looks good. Sorry, have things been going poorly? I know you said you probably got an assignment yesterday, and it sounds like you actually have gotten one. But like, this is what you signed up for, right? How much buyer's remorse is there? It's been going well, just super busy, yeah. All right, I mentioned this already. I wanted to hide this behind the vases, but we can't easily do that. Now, there is one thing we could do, and this is going to look very goofy. We could make the vases be double size. They're just very large vases, and now they perfectly cover this. Look at that. You'll never know. You'll never know that gigantic vases are covering a switch. Oh, look at that. It's larger than I am. What's that? There's a switch underneath. Okay, I sort of want to keep this because it's just so funny to me. Like, this has never happened in a Zelda game. Oh, man. I mean, the other thing we could do is cut the pressure plates in half, but then the pixel art might make them look bad. Let's see what that is. What framework am I using? I'm just using the Godot engine. Actually, it doesn't look bad from an art perspective. It just looks kind of weird from a Switch perspective. But actually, it's not too bad. Maybe we keep that. Maybe pressure plates are just half the size. Hey, Nempus. Check if another item is on top and shrink itself to 0.1. So like it grows after you destroy the vase, because that would look a little bit strange, I think. I think this looks pretty good. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. Yeah, I like that. No, I think this is fine. Yeah, and I appreciate it, Jesta, but yeah, I think this looks good. Okay, cool. So now let's go review the code. And then I gotta actually like set this up in a room. So delete that. Collapsible wall. What are we looking at here? Collision shape, collapse. The string name is here. That's fine. Get this. On animation finished. Sprite.stop. This shouldn't be needed, because it shouldn't be playing to begin with. Yeah, we don't need this. Set frame in progress, also not needed. Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. All right, so if it's already collapsing, return. Otherwise, play the collapse animation. And when it's done, if it wasn't collapsing and now it's collapsing, or it's done collapsing, then delete all of this stuff. Yeah, that's fine. All right, the scene itself we just looked at. I mean, there can't really be any problem here, right? It's a collision shape and it's a wall. Yeah, looks good. Pressure plate. Sprite, trigger area, on body entered. So we have the same thing here. I don't think this is necessary. Yeah, otherwise looks great. The scene itself, I believe we looked at, but I didn't look too closely. Yeah, this is fine. And then the room where I added this. Connect pressure plate. Yeah, easy peasy. This is very simple. So we should probably go make the actual room where I want to put these, right? Because I don't want them in this room. This room doesn't make any sense. But room 2, we could make this a little bit more vertical. So like the player spawns down here. And we go copy these things in. So I got to copy all of this. Copy. And paste. And now delete at least the pressure plates in the walls from here. Then room 2 needs its own script. Does this inherit from something? Nope, just a node. All right, so save this at... Oh, wait, we probably can't do that. I'll do it this way, just in case. I had some problems with this a while ago. Room2.cs. Great, copy all of this over to here. Call this room 2. All right, pressure plates are connected. Player entered. Player left room. This is for the staircase in here? Yeah, sure, that's fine. All right, so now delete it from this. Good, good, good. And then assign the script over here. Room 2, room 2. Gotcha. All right, so if we just try this out, we now have the vases and the switches, and the gates aren't blocking anything. They need to block something eventually. And room 1 should also be fixed. There should be no errors. There's nothing under here. Yep, nothing under here, right? Nothing on my sleeves. What could be underneath this vase? A switch. Another switch. Yeah, cool. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, there's nobody to go down this staircase yet. I haven't plugged that in. All right, so what was the point of this room? We were supposed to have some vases and some switches. Yeah, so we need some dummy vases. So there'll be some that do not, whoops, Shift G. Oh, it's not offset now. How do we fix that? How do we fix that? Why is this snapping to the wrong thing? Did it change the, man? Does that work? Yeah, that works. Yeah, and I think we need to code another enemy at some point. Or maybe there's just a bunch of spike traps in here. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we do that. Spike trap. I kind of want to try... Let's just add in a whole line of these. Whoops. Oh, this won't work. I should have started... I want to make a semicircle, not a full circle. So now I got to move the ones I already put down. Whoop, that does not do it. There we go. And that way I can know that they're in order. Because we're going to have to change their delays. Should we put a couple in here? Yeah, we should probably put a couple in here. So let's make this a little bit wider. Maybe like this. So one of these will contain a switch and the other one will not. I'll put this vase up here. And we need there to be 2 switches to get into this. Maybe there's a wall blocking this out. Yeah, that could be good. Let's do that. So we're going to draw this in here. And then this is where collapsible wall 1 goes. Collapsible wall 1 is connected to pressure plate 1, so that's impossible. So we got to put this outside of here. Pressure plate 2 is connected to wall 2. Wall 2 should probably be blocking something over here. Staircase needs to go inside this thing. I don't know, put this in the middle of the room. Put a vase on top of it. Put some more dummy vases around here. Maybe there are a couple over here. Maybe there's one over here. Maybe the conspicuous one in the middle of the room is where you need to be. Then we could add in some slimes because that's the only enemy we have so far. And they are walking around this thing. Actually, they could just patrol the whole room, right? Where's the player spawn position? Here? We got to move this like to... I don't know, actually. Maybe here. All right, so slime, you will move to the right side. Way over to there. And you're going to have a buddy. A couple of buddies. We're going to move over here. I mean, nothing's going to really block you. I guess this one should move over to the side. Maybe this one moves like this. And we put one here that moves like this. Yeah. All right. Masterful dungeon design. Just the most beautiful dungeon I've ever seen in my life. And now we just set these things 0.125 times 1 times 2 times 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It might be stupid to make them activate in a line like that. Maybe they should just all activate at once. How's that look? I mean, it looks cool. Yeah, let's just keep it. Oh yeah, we Zelda in over here. Yeah, this is pretty good. Like I said, it just needs to feel kind of like Zelda. It doesn't actually need to be that hard. Now we do move faster as we collect more coins. But you also move slower every time you get hit. And it's possible someone gets hit like 5 times and then will not have fun playing this game. So we need to come up with a solution for that. So yeah, if I get hit by these spikes enough times, I will move very, very slowly. And yeah, just imagine this being your top speed. And that's not even the slowest you can get. It'd be really tedious. I don't know what to do about that, though. If we make your coins regenerate... Actually, that would... They wouldn't be coins. It doesn't make sense for coins to regenerate, but maybe coins are really your health, and your health regenerates. Which is actually exactly how Super Mario 64 worked, right? Your health was somehow given you by coins. But your health regenerated only when you... Well, it was your oxygen bar too, I guess. So only when you came up for air. What was all of that blathering about? Oh yeah, I gotta do something about coins. All right, so problem, you can get hit a bunch of times in the Zelda part of the dungeon and have no way of dying. So then you just move really slowly. So option 1, have your coins regenerate over time. In the endless part of the dungeon, you wouldn't have long enough for this to help you. For your next game, maybe. I don't know what we would do. Like, there aren't... Well, I guess it always could be. But, like, you need more graphics. There's just very little you can do with the graphics that are here. And this is my complaint with most asset packs. Is, like, I love the art style. I love the animations they've done. I think this looks great. But in terms of making a complete game with this, you just don't really have the tools here. And they give you a bunch of item graphics, but then there's no animations for them. So it's like this rose, the bomb, the star. There is an animation for the bomb. But like this lava egg thing, like what do you do with that? Like, wouldn't you want this to crack open into something? Or, you know, wouldn't you want to, I don't know, use the shields that you find here? There are a bunch of different weapons, but all you can do is just like put them in statically and have them swing or like poke with a trident or something. There's no arrow graphic as far as I know. So you can't use the bows. Yeah. I don't know. It's like it almost has what you need, but not quite. Are those supposed to be menu or inventory things? Also, hi Luna. Yeah, maybe, but still, like, what would they do? Yeah, like, let's say you can collect an axe. It's like, is this just some, quest item that you have to hand to somebody now? Because they drew so many of these different axes. Like I said, these would be easy enough to just animate a swinging animation without them being individual sprite frames. You don't really need that. But like this, for example, the rod here, you'd probably expect it to shoot magic. It's like, well, did they have a magic graphic or something? And all these boots, okay, you collect a boot. Does it make you move faster, or do you have graphics for that? All is going pretty well. I'm still happy with all the progress we've been making here. All right, well, I reviewed this already, right? Yeah, I did. So let's go check all this in. Add pressure plates and collapsible walls. Room 2 is now fleshed out with these mechanics. Yeah, feels pretty good. So now we got to go make a room 3 where I need to figure this out, very helpfully written. I had this idea of a puzzle and we could still code this. It wouldn't be that hard to do, I think. The puzzle idea was you'd have torches on the wall. The torches would be these torches. So they're colorful torches and they're not lit at first. And there are banners on the wall indicating what order you should light them in. And then there are colorful slimes, which, like, the blue ones will light the blue torch on the wall. And you have to match the order of the banners. And if you do it correctly, it opens a door. And if you don't do it correctly, it, makes a bonk sound and like resets the dungeon or something. I don't know if it's worth doing that. I think it'd be kind of cool. Commission the person to make assets you want. I assume that'd be too expensive. Yeah, they'd have to be available as well. I almost wonder, what if you commissioned an asset pack creator to make assets that are for sale for everybody? So if you're like, oh yeah, I want a magic pack. I'm willing to pay you $500 and then you can sell it on top of that. I wonder how often that sort of deal happens. Because you'd probably subsidize it in kind of both directions, right? Like you're paying for their time. And then because they're going to sell it afterward, they wouldn't charge you as much as they normally do. But still, it involves them being available and like wanting to work on that and not wanting to do something else. As an example, I don't think there are very many space shooter assets on itch. So if you search browse assets, or I guess just type like space shooter here and then click game assets, like you see, yeah, it says 1300, but then you start looking through these, it's like there aren't a lot to make a fully fledged game. And if I click any one of these, like this one, for example, there are a few ships and a few bullets and a few enemy ships. And this is enough to make a small game, sure. So now let's say I wanted to commission someone to do this. There probably just isn't demand for space shooter graphics. Like how many people are making space shooters? And I do eventually want to make a space shooter in Stuck in a Broken Tutorial, but like, yeah, this is the problem. What assets do we use? Like, look at this. It's got a pretty nice ship. I like the animations and everything. And then, yeah, 5, 6 bullets maybe. And that's it. So, yeah, where do we find something that's going to have enough? Yeah. Wait, what did it say the price was? $78. What? This has to be a mistake. I'm convinced no one is going to pay $80 for this. It's not even that they did a bad job. It's just, why would you pay $80 for this? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this person was thinking. Maybe they meant to type 780. And even then, I'm not sure it'd be worth it. This is just so beyond the pale for asset prices on Edge. Wait a second. What? It says they're 1300, but then just one page shows up and there's no. That's strange. 1,000+ projects match. If I click paid here, something's wrong. I don't know what's wrong. Yeah, strange. Isn't that an arrow at the top? Did I miss it? I don't... Am I missing it? I'm not trying to be dense here. I truly do not see a way to go to the next page. Let me turn off Dark Reader. No, yeah. Each item inside all these packs. Hey, hello. All right, well, whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm not necessarily looking to buy this right now. But, yeah. Okay, so we got to get our third room. We got to do the bomb room as well. I mean, maybe we go make the ability to have bombs. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so let's just delete this. So new work tree off of... Why do I have changes? I don't have changes. Why does it think I have changes? Huh, strange. Whoops. Its status. I do have changes, but Ryder doesn't know? What? Yeah, that's what this refresh button is for. It's not finding anything though. All right, well, what does it think changed? Just some frame progress things? No, I checked this in. Am I in the wrong branch? Dungeon Racer. What am I on over here? Dungeon Racer. I'm going to just restart this. Hey, Twitch dog. They meant $780. I just need one sale at $780. I've seen expensive asset packs. Usually they're justified by the contents of them. Like, this isn't, I would say, expensive, but this bundle is $50. But, like, look at everything you get in here. There are 12 packs, and they're pretty extensive packs. There's a bunch of houses in here, a bunch of tiles, a bunch of, I don't know, other buildings. Then they've got something with sprites here, and they've got, I don't know if all this stuff is in here, but like a bunch of animations. And yeah, for $50, this is probably worth it. They've got UI, they've got, yeah, a lot of other things here. And any individual pack in this is, yeah, like $10. So once you buy 5, it makes sense to just get the whole bundle. So yeah, I don't mind when something like that exists. Every once in a while you come across something where it's like they would have priced that at $125 or something, and you're like, well, that's pretty steep. The artwork is good. But yeah, paying $78 for like 10 spaceships or something. Not going to happen on my watch. All right, I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, this is not finding any changes. And this asserts that there are. I should be on the exact same branch either way though, right? Origin Dungeon Racer. This is the same thing, right? Dungeon Racer, yeah. Why is there a discrepancy here? Huh. What if I go into this view? Add pressure plates. This modified room 1, right? Diff last commit. Was it room1.cs? Pattern not found. Pattern not found because it never made it in. Okay, hold on. Something's wrong with Ryder then, right? Yeah, I could have sworn I checked that box. I must not have. Okay, fine. Well, then let's just go do this over here. I still don't know what happened here. What if I change this to group by directory? No, nothing changes. So bizarre. Page size is the same every time. Yeah, thank you, Cinecella. I'll try to report that at lunchtime. Report this. Well, picking up people like the large price thing, I can see there could be a strategy for that. I think with assets it doesn't make sense a lot of times, but like that just has to be a misprice. $78 for that pack. I can't imagine that the market is so low. Yeah, but that's just such an outlier. All right, let's just commit this through here. Actually, I want to amend the last commit. You know what? Let's try that. This still doesn't show up. Let's just undo the last commit then. It's still not going to find this, is it? No, it just finds room. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Room1.cs. I deleted this. So now it's just got a space in here, right? Yeah. Weird. Why does this thing get changed? Something's wrong. I just don't get it. It thinks this was checked in. Hold on. Maybe that's the problem. It was never checked in, though. I don't understand what I'm seeing. Modified room 1. I didn't do that. Unless this is basing it on from like where I cherry picked it from. Oh my god, this is the problem. I just need to like add this again and then it'll get separated out from get status. What? Okay. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, that's weird. Well, that's fixed now. All right, problem solved. I don't know how we got in that state. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Yeah, all right, well, it's fixed. Great. So now let's go figure out the bomb mechanics that we want. So I already have bomb.tscn. You should be able to press the Y button, which is, I guess, game specific 1. Project input game specific 1 is Nintendo YA. That's what I want. Okay, so I want to add the ability for the player to like use bombs in the Dungeon Racer. This ability has to be earned, but that won't be in the game yet. For now, make it so that pressing for now, add a cheat or like base this ability on a Boolean in Dungeon Racer save data. Dungeon Runner save data. Wait, I've been calling it Dungeon Racer and Dungeon Runner. Oh god. Is that the only place I have the word runner? Well, Dungeon Runner, I guess. Yeah, only in the save system. Whoops. Okay, let's rename this to Dungeon Racer save data. Oh, the file name should change too. Okay, let's fix that afterward. I'll just put this in cleanup. I accidentally named the Dungeon Racer save data Dungeon Runner save data. I should fix the name and the file name. All right, so just add it in here. Then add a cheat that will set this Boolean to true. All right. So now when pressing game specific 1, this is already used right now for the Dungeon Racer, right? Yeah. So put that on game specific 2, I guess. It should drop a bomb at the location. This should instantiate bomb.tscn after the explosion. Actually, not even after the explosion animation. It should probably do damage as of like one of these frames. Maybe the 21st frame. Because we just play this. Well, actually, the only thing... we're going to eventually have an enemy that takes damage from these. So yeah, which frame makes it look like it's taking damage, I guess. probably, yeah, right around there, the 19th frame or maybe the 20th frame. After the 19th frame of that animation, trigger an exploded or like deal explosion damage, exploded event. All right, for now, nothing listens to this event, and bombs recharge, or like the player has charges of a bomb as up to no, starts with 3 uses of the bombs, meaning they can place 3 bombs at first. Each bomb charge or each bomb use takes 5 seconds to recharge. They cannot accumulate more than these 3 uses, and when at 0, they cannot place a bomb. Okay, so rebind the floor falling to this. I wanted to kick this off before my break. So, yeah, I have 20 seconds left. Is there anything else that I have? All right, that's good enough. Okay, so is it jump time? We'll look at this when I get back. It's jump time. Hi. Close the game. All right, let's see if this thing finished. It did. Multiple bombs are used close together. How should their 5-second recharge work? Each spent charge, sequential charges, only one missing charge recharges at a time, restoring at most one charge every 5 seconds. Yeah. How should after... Yeah, let's do that. I mean, it doesn't make a difference because I will just feel how it is in the game. When should this be allowed to place a bomb? Only while controllable. Require normal input to be enabled. Blocking bombs during falling, death, hurt, attack, room transition. Sounds good. Yeah, good questions for a task. Now remember, I have to reset. Well, I don't have to, but I'm going to reset my usage today in about 6 hours. So like this is just sort of free to burn through. So the more AI tasks I can do today, the better, because they're basically free. Now that said, I haven't really been using any. Yeah, I just haven't been very productive today. But we are at 66%, so we used 8%. So we have 3 times the time to use 12 times the usage. All right, so this is done. Yeah, bomb room. What else do we have to do here? Let's get rid of this. Well, maybe we want to save this. I don't know. We could just figure it out again. It's not that hard. All right, only some of them are real, or you have to press them in a certain order. Buzzsaw you need to enable. Swing your sword to hit keys into matching locks. Just need to kill all enemies in the room. Yeah, we got to add more enemies at some point. I want to add that knight character in. You're going to be killed by a bomb. Add the knight character that can only be killed by a bomb. I kind of want to code this. Yeah, I think we should just do this. This whole torch puzzle that I had come up with. We have the different colored slimes already. We could add in the torches and the banners. And yeah, some way to reset this. Yeah, I think that's what we'll work on after this bomb stuff is done. When should bomb charges reset to all 3 on game entry only? Charges and their current recharge progress. Survive room changes. The Dungeon Racer scene is recreated. It never really gets recreated, right? Falling and resetting the endless dungeon immediately restores all 3. What do we want to do? Why doing 5.6 soul high? I'm using extra high. I don't actually know when we want to do this. Survive room changes and fall or run resets until it's recreated. I'll just pick this one for now. But the reason why I don't really answer this question is I still don't know how coins should work across like falls. It doesn't really make sense that they reset. So like, why should anything else reset? I mean, you're not dying. So what's making you lose your coins or gain coins? And why wouldn't that happen normally? Maybe you are dying? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so there's going to be room 3 and then the bomb room. And the bomb room, I mentioned a key and a chest. I mean, I think that's kind of cool. And then out of it would show would be bombs. However, we have an animation for raising up an item. And I don't necessarily want to have Quickie Joe like draw this in our style and use this animation. If all you're going to do is ever get bombs and that's it. But it does look really cool. Could also be that you open a treasure chest and bombs rise out of it. And it's not that your character is lifting it up. You die in the void, you lose a heart. Yeah, except for in this one, when you fall down, you're entering like a brand new dungeon. And I think we got to make it more obvious to players that's happening. Maybe that dungeon has like a little reset area. Yeah, you know what? That might be good. I'll write that down as an idea. Maybe there's a like a reset tile or something when you fall into the spawn room that sets your coins to 100, bombs to 3, and any other state that the player may care about. Otherwise, I don't really have an answer for why your coin total changes. Maybe it's just the statue graphic in... Where's that statue? There's a statue somewhere here. Was it there? No. There. In set for all. That you pass and it like judges you back to 100. I don't know. I kind of like that idea. The graphic that I'm talking about is this. Like maybe just moving past this statue like just resets everything about you. So if you're moving super slowly, you would move normally again. If you're moving super fast, you would move normally again. So it resets you in both directions pretty much. And yeah, if you had fewer than 3 bombs, it gives you 3 bombs. You can't have more than 3 bombs, so it'll never hurt you in that sense. All right, add an unlockable bomb ability controlled by has bomb ability. Game specific 1 places the bomb. Falling floor moves to game specific 2. Sounds good. Add has bomb ability to dungeon runner save data and unlock bombs dungeon racer cheat that sets it to true. Give 3 transient bomb charges on scene creation. Successful placement consumes 1 charge. Missing charges recover sequentially at 1 charge per 5 seconds. Additional uses do not restart the active recharge timer. Yeah, sounds good. Charge and recharge progress survive room changes and fall or run resets. That's good. Reject placement when locked, empty, or yep, that's fine. Instantiate this. Change the existing normal mode falling floor input from game specific 1 to game specific 2. Attach a new bomb. Expose this. Raise it once. Queue free the bomb when its full animation finishes. Yep, that's all fine. Okay, so this looks good, but also make sure bombs fall when the floor falls from under them. Just like vases, slimes, etc. Yeah, I guess also add a simple bomb count UI. Yeah, that's good. Now we could do, there is a speed control here. We could raise this to 1.5 and get this done even faster. Because like I said, this quota is going away one way or the other. Maybe in the afternoon, we'll start using that for all of our queries. Afternoon, consider using 1.5x speed for everything, since I'm going to lose the quota anyway. Yeah. So we don't need this anymore. Done with that. All right, so we should start planning this out. Yeah. Let's go find out where the torches are. Let's get the banners. Is there anything else I need to do? Maybe not. I want the smallest image that contains torches. So 4.2 does contain them. 4.2 has torches. But is there a smaller image? Torch. Oh, off torch. Nice. I didn't realize they made that for us. Yeah, that's perfect. All right, I gotta write that down. Off torch. And then they have individual ones for each particular orientation and color, right? So I want red, green, and blue. Yeah. They have those all here. Red. torch green. Whoops. I don't know what I just did. Torch green. And blue. And then the banners. Where are the banners? Maybe we should just do this. Is that even any better? Oops. Barely see these things. Icons, maybe? No. New items? No. All right, so then I guess it's just in one of the set graphics. That's water. There are the banners. Set 3-2. All right, so those are all the graphics we need, right? They'll give us the torches. We already have the slimes. We need the banners. Yeah. So now we got to plan out how exactly this room is going to work. So colorful banners in the room. We're going to use red, green, blue. There are slimes. There are unlit torches. Killing a slime like the next torch in the sequence. You have to match the torches to the banner colors. Once you do this, a wall slides into the floor. Sure. If you light the torches in the wrong order, you have to flip a switch to reset them. So what I'm picturing is there'd be a slime spawner that you can't get to that's just going to keep pumping slimes into the room somehow. Hey, Major Lift. Yeah, things have been going really well. You were last here almost exactly a year ago. A year and 15 days. Yeah. What's the best thing that's happened to you in the last year? I was like summing up everyone's life into one thing. No, really, like, what's the most notable thing, I guess? Yeah, so I like the idea of slimes, like that you don't need to reset the slimes. Slimes will eventually respawn. Maybe they're just constantly spawning from an inaccessible part of the dungeon. Or I should say a part of the dungeon that's inaccessible to you. If that's the only notable thing is that someone got 1 year older, that would be a little bit sad. Yeah. Take that as a win. All right. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we started working on a new game. When you were here last, I was working on Skeleseller. And now I've been working on Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. And it's been a little over 3.5 months. So it's still, you know, relatively early on in the project. And I will show you what we've got so far. So very basic title screen. We'll eventually throw some things there. Just character customization in the form of picking colors for things. So like if I want to change my shirt color, for example, we'll start the game. So this is a game about being stuck in broken tutorials. So you see normal tutorial text in here about jumping, and you can eventually learn how to dash. And then you get to this, and you try following the prompt there, try to collect the diamonds, but you can't, and you fall through the world, and you figure out how this game is broken. So from here, there's only one way to go. You'll eventually discover, like, all right, what's going on here? You'll find out about this character named the Architect, but you won't find too much other than that they exist and they don't like you. Yeah. And then you'll go from game to game from there. And off to a really good remote job. Yeah. Hey, Dark. Sorry for a very basic map. Ran into some issues. Couldn't decide how to progress. Oh, no. Dark, I like what you did. Yeah, the Y sorting you shouldn't have to worry about. We had a problem with that in every map, and then Kevin told me about kind of why it's happening. So, like, it's now fixed in these. You can see my character up there still. And if I dig this out and plant some seeds, the seeds don't disappear. So, like, that I can work on. Just, like, placing tiles and whatever is the difficult part. And also, the rooms you set up are good. Yeah, I think maybe just some polish around the walls or something. And if those tiles are too hard to use, maybe we can have Quickie Joe make some new ones. Because I know it's not the best asset pack for Godot usage, at least. But yeah, I was hoping to get at least like the dungeon or the top-down shooter and the loot boxes game. I think the loot boxes game should be very easy for you to do because you did all the Skeleseller stuff and it's Skeleseller graphics. So you can pretty much just like probably copy paste things from Skeleseller if you wanted to. Just the first setup is a bit painful, yeah. And thankfully the setup for this particular game should be much easier. I think from what I've seen so far, the usage in the Dungeon Racer game should hopefully also be fine. But this is going to have more constraints around how we place things. Like you'll probably be making the world around what I've placed down. Because I'm setting up some like basic dungeons here. This is actually pretty nice so far. Yeah. Oh, I got hit by the spike. So it can get me. Yeah, I'm liking this. Using my own engine. No. Yeah, Botland was like not exactly my own thing. I was kind of taking some technologies already built and piecing them together. For Skeleseller and for this game, I've been using Godot. Yeah. All right, so now we have the new plan here. Let's go read through this really quickly. What were the two things I said I should do? Oh yeah, they fall when the floor falls. Yeah, that's fine. Show 3 immediately. Yeah, that's fine too. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Used to characters having the same collider size as the character. No weird cross-tile Y sorting issues. Yeah. Yeah. I think those wall graphics are just unfortunate. It's like they were made for RPG Maker as an afterthought almost. At least that's what it seemed like. So yeah, usage for us does throw things off. I guess we could expand every tile to like 48 by 48 and then increase the size of the character. That might be easier. Maybe we do that. So in here, for example, the ground tiles are currently 16 by 16. Yeah, if we just triple the size of this, transform, set this to 3. Now all the tile sizes should match, and then we just need to triple the size of everything else. So like wherever the player is, we would triple them. We triple the monster size. That could potentially be a solution for this. So if you want, you can go that route. And then we can just zoom out the camera to a third, I guess. And it'll look exactly the same, but the tiles will work. But yeah, I don't know. That's the difficulty of this task. Prefer we worked on 16 by 16. Yeah, so the only thing that makes that hard here is the graphics that we have for that particular, the walls and everything are just not made to work that way. What's it called? The dungeon, yeah. So here, yeah, I think these are only 48 by 48. Yeah. So the problem is trying to shrink these down to 16 by 16 is not, it just doesn't work with these graphics. It makes them look really bad. So we'd have to expand everything to 48 by 48 if we wanted to do it that way, or have Quickie Joe draw tiles specifically for 16 by 16. Sprite provided was 24 by 24. The character sprite, or do you mean the tiles? What do we have here? Dungeon walls are 2x scale. Oh, I think I see what you're saying. Yeah, but anyway, still the lowest common denominator for all this would be 48 by 48. So if we do have to scale everything up, we could do that. And then everything should hopefully look fine. But yeah, anyway, let me know what you want to do because I can help out with some of that. because I do want to get this in for the playtest. What was I going to do now? Oh yeah, all the banner stuff. Okay, so how would we make it so that slimes appear out of some kind of spawner that you can't go into? Maybe they're appearing out of like a grate in the floor. Yeah, maybe there's something like this and it spawns a slime and then the slime just like walks out of the room basically and you have to kill it on its way out of the room. That could work. How are they leaving though? Maybe they don't leave. Maybe they spawn and they patrol and it's not until you kill them that they spawn again. That could work. Yeah. Maybe they spawn out of a grate in the floor and then patrol. But if you kill them, they'll respawn in like 3 seconds or something like that. So you don't have to wait too long. I believe we have great graphics, GRATE, that are different colors. Yeah. How do you, there we go. Oh, you can't really stay zoomed in on this. We have red, blue, and green. Yeah. So we could put these in the floor. They're supposed to indicate that I think the dungeon is going over some color liquid. Because in the graphic that they had over here, it's blue here and they have this blue grate. I think it's supposed to indicate that there's water underneath this, but I don't know. But anyway, we could just make it look like it's a slime spawner. Remake them in 16 by 16 when I have time. With the loot boxes too. Wait, what about the loot boxes? You're talking about remaking graphics for that? Or you just mean you'll work on the loot boxes thing? Because I don't think we need to make any special graphics for loot boxes. Oh, just work on it. Yeah. Yeah, and if we don't have that by August 1st, that's fine. I think it's okay. I don't think the game is so distracting without having it be filled in. With that said, I think you could probably, because of your experience with Skeletron, I think you could probably make this look like nicer than it currently looks, faster than it took the top-down shooter to look nicer than it currently looks. But yeah, this is just so much better than what it used to be. And it adds a lot of flavor to have like those bookshelves up there and everything and these torn carpets and yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. Cool. All right, so yeah, we can use the colorful grates. We could use the regular grates. I guess it doesn't really matter which one. This is in set 4 all, so that means that there must be one that just has the grates. Nope, just in set 4 all. Yeah, I think so. I could go try to hunt it down somewhere else, but I don't think it's worth it. So yeah, let's take this. So this has the colorful grates. And they'll spawn, they'll patrol. Oh, they shouldn't drop coins when they die? Those slimes shouldn't drop coins when they die? How does it fit into your toolkit for developing this? Remember, you always had super detailed and organized notes and plans. So that fits well using agents. No pressure to answer now. Yeah, it's been going pretty well. I now see it as like any code I'm going to add is probably better done through AI. And you know, I always wonder, like, is this going to shoot me in the foot in the future? And it hasn't so far. And I don't think it will. Rami just told a story on Discord where he said that his like VP was vibe coding, but like just vibe coding, you know, like prompt and then just accept whatever comes out without looking. And it resulted in JavaScript being used, TypeScript, Python, and I think some C++. And it's like no sane developer would use 4 different languages on a brand new project that only needs whatever, let's say like 500 lines of code or something. There's just no reason for that. So I look at that and I'm like, all right, that's one end of the spectrum is you just blindly accept everything and you're not a software developer to begin with. So you can't even say like, well, this doesn't seem right. What I've been doing has been mostly like, okay, prompt it, try to be pretty specific in the prompts, and then look through the code afterward and see what I have roughly done it this way. So I look at it kind of similarly to PR review from a human at that point, which is that there are some nitpicks you might have. And with an AI, it doesn't feel, I don't feel guilty to nitpick at it. But sometimes you have to realize like nitpicks are just nitpicks. They're probably not super important. If it's clear enough to you and it's working, then yeah, who cares if there's like a slightly better way of doing things. There are ways that are drastically better sometimes. So for example, you have the totally wrong time or space complexity for something, or you're calling some API that's just known to be expensive, even though it might look like it's running in the same time complexity as the other things. But yeah, anyway, those are the kinds of things that I try to be a little bit pickier about. I don't think they're nitpicky. I think it's just me being picky. Hey, Moreau. Review and control it results in slop directly very quickly. Yeah. So I don't feel like it's been hurting me to use this, and it has seemingly drastically sped up development. So even this, for example, like adding in bombs, like as I'm working on this now, I'm able to think about the next task that I want to ask it. So I think we've done everything now except for how you unlight the torches. So this is going to be a beast of a plan. This is probably going to take me like half hour to just write the plan. So let's go kick this off because this is going to take some time. All right, I'm just going to copy all this in for now. You know what I'd love? Is there a way to expand this text box to be like the full screen? Because that'd be nice. I don't think you can do that. Man. All right, well, whatever. What do I want to do then? Oh yeah, we need the torches on the wall. Okay, so I want to create a room in the dungeon racer. Okay, this new room should be something. Oh, and I should plan this. I should just click that before I forget. This new room should be what? Actually, like room 4. No, it should be room 3. Yeah, room 3.tscn. When entering the staircase in room 2, it should transition to this new room. Okay, so those are some very basic things that we have now. The new room should be... Actually, this is where I don't want it to like get stuck on making a map. So the new room should be a build-in rectangle of floor tiles, just like room 1, with an outline of wall tiles. Again, just like, well, I guess I could just put the whole thing. Can you copy a link like that? Yeah, you can. But I think it's just copying markdown path and then rendering it that way. Along the back wall, there should be 4 torches. They start in the off state and use this, but I don't know what that looks like. Where's off torch? There. Okay, so we got 2 different holders here, a silver one and kind of a wooden one. What does the blue torch use? Just the silver one. So why do they give you the wooden one? I guess if you want to add the fire in yourself. Yeah. All right. So just use the top middle sprite. And then let's make sure that these align perfectly. They should be 16 by 16. Yep. And then if I move this over here. Yeah. And use the 16 by 16 sprite in this starting at 16.0. Okay. So on the back wall, there should be 4 torches. They start in the off state and use the 16 by 16 sprite in here, starting at 16.0. There should be 4 slime spawners, or no, 3 slime spawners in this room. 3 slime spawners in the room. Don't worry about the positioning of the slime spawners or the torches. I will move them manually myself after this is done. All right, there should be 3 slime spawners in the room. A spawner has a... The spawners have a graphic from this. Based on which color slime they spawn. All right, so now I gotta look at set for all. So we want the red grate, the blue grate, and the green grate. So this is it, 4896. All spawner graphics are 16 by 16 in size. The red graphic is at 4896. Yep. The blue one is at 1680. The green one is at 1696. I mean, it must be, but I didn't actually double check that. So let me take a quick look. Yep, good. A slime spawner immediately spawns a slime of the corresponding color. These slimes do not drop coins. Instead, they light the next torch in the back of the room with the color of the slime killed. So now torch red, blue, and green. What is set 3.2 for? 3.2. Oh, the banners. All right. Okay. I'll just manually add the banners myself, I guess. Yeah, I'll do that separately. I don't think it needs to be there. Add the banners myself. They're animated. I got to add the graphics into the game, though, before I mess this up. And they're technically all in set 3.3, although we don't need all of these. Oh, wait, are there 2 different... There are 2 different styles of torch here. I didn't realize that. What was I about to use? This is like the mid-level fire. I wanted the roaring fire, this one. Oh, man. I would have to pull it for... All right, well, let's just ignore that for now. Yeah, whatever. I'll just use the weaker fire for this. Yeah. All right, we got to go copy all these graphics in, though. So green, red, blue, off. We put this in here. Whoops. Objects. Dungeon Racer. Torches. All right, so they're all the torches. They're also the grates. We need those. Those are where? 4 point something. I wrote it down. I'll just go check what I wrote down. For all. Never mind. I can't even find for all now. There it is. All right, so copy this over there. This goes into the world, though. All right, what else do I need? Torch, 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 all. Yep, that's everything. All right, so we gotta check in those files. Add graphics for the puzzle room. Nothing is using these yet. Okay. Yeah, it's been 8 minutes writing this prompt so far. Also, I should take a quick look at this. Yes, allow this. Cool. Yeah, let's go back to our... our plan that we have over here. Oh, I think this changed. They start in the off state and use 16 by 16 size sprite in this, starting at 16, 0. Should be 3 slime spawners in the room. The spawners have a graphic from this based on which colors slime they spawn. Immediately spawns a slime of the corresponding color. While a spawner has an active slime, the spawner will... each slime spawner can only have one active slime. If after its slime is killed, it waits 3 seconds before spawning a new one. All right, so these have been added. So this off torch, we now just do this way. Off torch. Good. Set for all, we do the same way. Good. When a slime is killed, the first unlit torch becomes lit with the color of the slime. Use... All right, how's this work? Objects, Dungeon Racer, torches. Yeah, just use the whole graphic, right? Use the entirety of torch red, torch blue, or torch green to match the color. Each graphic represents an animation of a flame flickering. Colorful flame flickering. Okay. All right, so we've talked about all of these things. All right, slime spawner has a graphic. We talked about that. They don't drop coins. I think we're at pretty much everything. Oh, no, we haven't talked about everything. Okay, so after the 4 torches are lit, one of 2 things will happen. If the colors are in the order red, blue, green, red, then print success. In any other case, play a... Do we have like a bonk sound? I need to play a sound. Sound ID. Do we have some like you failed the thing? You could play as UI button denied. It's probably done through UI though, right? Perk button. Yeah. Yeah, but for now we just play that anyway. All right, fine. Play UI button denied. And then reset all of the torches back to unlit. All right, I think we've fully described this puzzle. I've got some placeholders here because I don't want to connect this yet. So it'll just print success. And this took only 12 minutes to write. So let's reread it. Make a new room. It connects from room 2. New room should be filled in rectangle of floor tiles. Along the back wall, there should be 4 torches. They start in the off state. They use a certain graphic. There are 3 slime spawners. Spawners have a graphic from this. All spawners are 16 by 16. The red graphic is at that. Red, 1 blue, and 1 green. He spawns a slime. When a slime is killed, the first unlit torch becomes lit with the color of the slime. Use the entirety of this, this, or this. Each one represents an animation. Each slime spawner can only have 1 active slime. Don't worry about the positioning. After all 4 torches are lit, if the colors are in the order In any other case, play this and then reset all the torches back to unlit. Yeah, sounds good. All right, let's do this. And while that's running, let's look at this. So we're going to go test this out. It created this. So we're going to commit, copy, commit, and then we cherry pick that over to here. Cherry pick dash n that. Did it finish? It doesn't. Oh, yeah, it finished. All right, let's try out bomb and stuff. Play. Yeah, let's see what it did. So if I try using bombs now, it does nothing. But I have a cheat that says unlock bombs. And now we see a little bomb counter here. Oh my god, I got the graphic. Nice. Oh, those are huge. I mean, they work. Should they damage the player? They probably should. They should also probably damage... Oh yeah, I can't use them now because I ran out. They should also probably damage slimes and vases. Yeah. So we slowly recharge. I'm going to run at 8x speed. Yeah, so we can place more bombs. Wow, awesome. Yeah, this is where I was saying AI has just been really speeding things up for me. Like, it did everything here. All the connective tissue. I can now place bombs. They don't do anything yet. Yeah, bigger than our character. We're probably going to keep them that way. A lot of things in old games, whether they are items, walls, trees, whatever, are weird sizes just because of how graphics worked. And I always kind of think about Pokemon, like let's look at Pokemon Red, maybe type Pallet Town here. It's like your character is the same size as a signpost and the same size as, I'm pretty sure, trees. This is in a newer version. I guess Pallet Town didn't have any trees. Oh, wait, there we go. Yeah. So yeah, you're the, whoop, this is SoundCloud. I don't want to open that up. Yeah, you're the same size as trees in the game. Like that's nonsensical. And yeah, at least in later games, okay, they make the trees take up like 4 tiles at once. That makes a little bit more sense. And yeah, in A Link to the Past had some pretty large trees too. But yeah, like there's only so much you can do when you've got tiny graphics. So I think that's within the realm of suspending your disbelief. All right, so what did I say? I wanted bombs to destroy pretty much everything. Make bombs, destroy pretty much everything. Slimes, vases, your own character. Anything else? I still need to answer that question of, do you just have a life bar in the Zelda part of the dungeon? I'm not sure coins for speed makes sense. Will destroy the currency? Probably not. Yeah, not coins. Okay, so it's almost time for either the next break or lunch. So I maybe have enough time to go review this. Yeah. Yeah, all right, let's review it. So frame change, we check if it's exploded or if it's less than this in return, otherwise has exploded. Perfect, yeah, this is great. The scene itself, I don't think anything changed here, right? It just added a script. Yeah, easy. Bomb counter. This is some simple UI. I actually really don't care too much about this. This is just for me to debug. So I'm going to look at this very briefly. Yeah, it's a texture icon. Sure, totally fine. Did it add in a new graphic though? No, it did not. Then the cheat, I also don't really care about this because it's just a cheat. Players don't have access to it. Maximum bomb count, and bomb counter. The bomb counter could keep track of the bomb count. I guess it could work either way. Recharge time remaining. All right, yeah. Yeah, this is great. Looks good. And it looks good. I'd probably have reframed this to be done positively. Yeah, like we don't need an early return here. And we could just invert this. We'd say if endless mode is not enabled and you press this button, then do this stuff. Yeah, I think that's a little bit clearer. Try place bomb. If you have bombs and you can place them. And what is this here for? What does that do? Input enabled and current action is none. Oh, you're not swinging your sword or something? Yeah, that's fine. Then load this in, use the resource cache, set it to the player, reset physics interpolation. Sounds great. Oh yeah, register falling object. I didn't test that out. So if you make the floor fall away and you put a bomb here, yeah, it'll fall away too. Well, I got actually like, oh no, I don't have bombs. There we go. Yeah, and it doesn't explode. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, the explosion fades out like that. We probably should stop that from happening. Yeah. I don't really care too much about that, but like a falling bomb that has already exploded will freeze its animation. It probably shouldn't. I don't, it doesn't matter too much. All right, so what happens if... Actually, I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, this seems fine to me. Actually, I do think this looks a little bit large for a function here. Well, recharge time remaining is less than or equal to 0. So this is if... Okay, I see. This assumes that delta can get to be very large. Which, yeah, I don't really care. Yeah, we could simplify this if we want to. Doesn't matter. It's not like there's a performance concern there. Bomb counter, that's fine. Unlock bombs is fine. Register falling object. Why is this here? Wouldn't we have already had this code? And what changed here? This is now a question mark. Oh, because it's not necessarily in the tile map? Oh, this is specifically for bombs. Oh, okay. This is fine. This is fine. And that's it. Wow. Yeah, this was all pretty reasonable. All right, so add the ability to place bombs. You can only unlock this through a cheat for now, and bombs don't actually do anything yet. So one of the cleanup things you've got to do... Whoops, did I get log -1? Yeah, nice. Okay. Did I write this down already? Nope. So remove the ability to trigger the falling floor with X on the controller. Maybe make a cheat for it, or just a cheat to teleport you to the bomb room and give you bombs, or just a cheat to teleport you or start endless mode. I don't know. Whatever is going to be easier for testing. All right, did this come up with a plan? It didn't, but there's a notification. Where's the notification? Huh, strange. It wasn't asking me a question. Yeah, I don't know where that was. Maybe it's just saying it's working on something. Anyway, this will be good. I wanted there to be like one kind of puzzle in this, and this is going to be the only puzzle. It'll feel more like a Zelda game. It comes right before the bomb room. I guess the bomb room won't have anything too interesting in it. Maybe there are knights chasing you that you can't destroy until you get the bombs. Maybe that's how you end up bombing the floors, by trying to kill the knights. Oh. I don't know why I'm doing this. Yeah, we can't actually go down here yet. Sounds like a good way to trigger it. What I wanted there to be a cracked wall over here somewhere. And you'd be like, oh yeah, okay, I'll put a bomb there, right? And then the floor just starts falling away. I can't show both of these things at once. The floor would start falling away. And that's when you'd be like, okay, well, I'll just run to the other side of the room, right? And it's like, there is no other side of the room. There won't be a staircase there. So you'll just have to fall. And then the game becomes an endless runner. And you're, dodging slimes and killing stuff and getting coins and moving faster and faster. So that's how this one is a broken tutorial. Is it's setting you up for a Zelda game, and then it's not actually a Zelda game. It's a runner game. Second playthrough. Well, there won't probably be a second playthrough. I don't think this game is going to have any real replay value. It's just meant to be like a fun experience once. And I think that's part of the tension in the game design here. Like, we're making sub games in this, and the sub games should be fun, but they're not intended to be fun in a standalone way. We build up just enough mechanics where it's fun for that time. And you can envision turning it into a full game, but it would not be fun if you just like repeated these things here. So there's a loot boxes game, for example. Like, let me speed this up a bit. You open loot boxes, you get perks, and you can set prices on items. So that's a basic game loop. Customers now come over and they might poo-poo your items and say they're too expensive. Okay, that's apparently really expensive. But that's it. Like, now we have shown the full game loop here. You can earn money, you can open treasure chests, and you can buy new perks. This is fun for probably about 15 minutes. Could we expand this into a full game where you get like 3 hours of fun out of this? Probably. But I think you'd have to so drastically change this that it would just take so many hours to do. And like in designing it, maybe it actually doesn't end up being that much fun. So yeah, I think this is cool for what it is. Yeah. And that's pretty much all the games. Like the top-down shooter, same thing. Like, there is a decent number of mechanics in this game. You're getting power-ups, you're killing enemies, you're working your way through this dungeon. There's a boss at the end. But would this be fun as a 2-hour-long experience? Not on its own. We'd have to do quite a lot. This is super cool, though. Feels so much better with actual graphics here. I think this thing should roar at you. We probably have some sound effect like that, right? Did this plan get done? It did. Okay. Let me write this down before I forget. So top-down shooter polish. Why did that not find anything? Did I not have polish written down after it? Oh, I see. I hyphenated everything. Okay, maybe add a roar or something when you enter the boss room. I can see someone speedrunning. Yeah, well, and one of the funny things about this one in particular, I didn't show this just now, but I at least find this funny. The loot boxes game, so if you just walk around in here, there's nothing right now. But the very first upgrade you get is the customer portal. Creates a portal that allows customers to visit your town. Once you have this, you can walk out of the portal and leave the game, and that's it. There is no need to interact with any of that game. And the whole idea spawned from, like, how long will people just open treasure chests for and get loot because it's fun, and not because they have to or the game incentivizes you in any other way. It's not like you're adventuring and you're using this money to go buy your own gear. It's not like you're, equipping the quiver yourself. Yeah, you're just making money for no reason. Hey, Amy. I was just talking about you. About your VP who vibe coded their mess of a system that they had. All right, let's read this plan. Add room 3 with the exact floor and wall footprint. 3 color-specific slime spawners. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this thing does. 4 torch sequence puzzle. Extend normal mode room transition, so 2 goes to 3. Build 3 from base room. Copying room 1's everything. Yep. 4 uniquely named torches. 3 edible spawners. Generalized Dungeon Racer's existing fade and input lock transition flow. Stare enters 3. Wow, that is pretty cool. Yeah, love it. Add a reusable slime spawner with an exported slime color. Spawns immediately, permits only 1 live slime, starts the timer at the lethal hit. Awesome. Extend slime with the knit. Slime color drops coins in a once per death died event. Yep. Light slime color. Off frame uses that. Yep, this is great. This means I wrote the plan well. It also means AI did a good job. Record slime deaths into the first unlit torch in scene order. On the 4th color, red, blue, green, red, print success. Any other sequence, play button denied, immediately reset, begin recording a fresh sequence. And this is the only thing that bugs me about Codex. Well, not maybe the only thing, but this input at the bottom blocks the text. You have to like collapse this to be able to read it. Later deaths no longer affect the solved puzzle. Oh yeah, I never talked about that. Resetting after a wrong sequence does not despawn or restart any active slimes. They're intentionally temporary. Yeah, this is perfect. All right, what are we at before this in terms of usage? We are at 61%. So I think now is probably a pretty good time for me to take my lunch break. Making money for no reason? Sign me up. Oh, nice, Magnus. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't ask too much on Discord, and I don't know if you shared this already, but I guess it all depends on what the code is supposed to do anyway. Like, I always kind of mention this tool that I used AI to make. It is for setting my stream title and description. And that's all it needs to do, right? Set a stream title and description and set some tags and stuff too. If this were coded using 7 different programming languages, but still worked, I wouldn't really care. Like, this is okay if it's a totally AI-owned code base. But yeah, if it's a customer-facing thing, if security is involved in some way, then I think it matters a lot more. Student at my university taking the same 3-year computer science degree. Should have been done this past spring, having to retake a bunch of classes. Wow. I gotta say, I don't understand the mentality exactly. I guess I get how it happens, but you're at university ostensibly to learn. So if you don't learn, then why did you go to university? If it was just to pass some like arbitrary metrics, it's like maybe their parents forced them. Maybe they decided they don't like computer science. Maybe it's just easier to get all your assignments done using AI, and they never thought about the learning aspect of things. And thanks, Major Lift. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go get lunch now. This is running anyway. It'll probably take at least like 10 minutes. So I was gonna take my break anyway, right around now. So I'll be back in about an hour, hour and 15 minutes, something like that. And when we get back, we are going to hopefully finish, or at least get as close to done as possible with this like Zelda style dungeon. So thank you all for watching. Hope to see you again in the afternoon. But if not, have a good weekend and see you next time. Bye, everyone.